Hello everybody, my name is Alesh Eisner and welcome to the Canadian Money Talk, the channel about Canadian investing and personal finance. Please like and subscribe. I record 2 videos per week, so make sure you ring the notification bell to get notified each time one comes out. This video is about couples and money. There are many aspects to this, so I will only touch on a couple of things, mostly from personal experience. I understand from various surveys that couples' arguments over money are the #1 cause of divorce. I would think it's not only when there's a lack of money, but it's also about how to spend it when you have it. Rich people could have the same issues. In this video, I'd like to discuss how to deal as a couple with money and how to talk to your significant other about money. Things are easy if it's just you, but when another set of opinions is brought into the picture, all sorts of interesting results can happen. First, let's talk dating and money. One of my friends said she brings up the other person's credit score and salary on the first date. That seems a touch early, but if you don't want to waste your and the other person's time when you know it will not be a compatible relationship, I can see why you would bring it up on the first date. Because money is such a taboo topic, people will normally be intimate earlier than they will share financial information, which feels backwards. Sometime in the past, I used to have a set of 20 questions I brought out to dates, most of them fun and light, but 2 financial ones thrown in. I know, shocking, I'm a list guy. In any case, the 2 financial questions usually asked on the second date were, do you know your net worth and do you have credit card debt? The first wasn't asking for a number, just whether they had done the math in the past and knew what their net worth was. The second one was to identify the spenders, and especially those that spent beyond their means, because it is likely that they would bankrupt me since all credit card limits would now be off the table once I came into the picture. Continuing with dating and money, I was raised in Europe, so I do the old school thing and I pay. First dates are typically coffee dates, so I can swing it. Other people go Dutch, which is fair as well. On the second date, it's typically dinner, but the second date means you like each other, and so I'm still good paying for the lady. Others who have set the pay for yourself precedent earlier are probably continuing the trend. I guess it's all up to you. As soon as the nice couple starts getting serious is when you should learn about each other's financial situation, since you are getting to know each other's personal facts in other areas as well. Any debt should be flagged and discussed. Student debt is okay in my mind since education helps you make more money. Credit card debt, not so much, since that is consumer debt with somebody feeling that they are entitled to more than what their salary allows. Depending on your province or state, you may or may not be jointly responsible for the other's debt once married or living together, quote unquote, common law for a certain time. But especially the credit card debt also speaks to a person's personality. Some questions to ask yourself and your significant other after you decide to move in together or when a marriage proposal seems to be forthcoming. Do you want separate bank accounts or one joint account? Do you want to be responsible for given bills and then the rest is your money to play with? Or pay for stuff together since it's all common money anyway? You have to agree on how to run your finances, ideally before you are legally joined. To me, it would be unfair if you were each responsible for some of the bills and the rest of your money was yours to play with, and I saved mine for retirement and my wife would use her leftover money to go to the spa. Then in 30 years, she'd live off the money that I saved. Then again, since I love my hypothetical wife, I would want her to be happy and relaxed, which would make me happy and relaxed. Let's talk about prenuptial agreements now. When there's a significant difference in assets coming into a marriage-like relationship or living together, it's important to have a prenup when you agree on what you have as assets, debts, and what will happen if you go your separate ways. It's not a romantic discussion, planning for what happens if you break up, but a positive way I have heard it spun is that at least you know the other person is marrying you for you and not your money. On the plus side, everything has to be disclosed. If you quote unquote forget your debts, In court during the divorce, the prenup could be seen as invalid, and you will get the worst from the prenup while your former partner would only get the benefits, or the judge may assess a penalty on top of enforcing the prenup as is. I am not a lawyer, so don't make any major decisions on this video, please. Do make sure to have an independent lawyer look at the prenup for each of you, or they could be made invalid in court. Having a lawyer write the prenup will be a couple of $1,000s at least, depending on the complexity and the assets. So writing it yourself from a template and then having each party taking it to a different lawyer to get checked is a good way to save money. If you are a multimillionaire, having a lawyer write it would probably be fine and money well spent. A lawyer here in British Columbia told me that a prenup is only valid for about 5 years, meaning you can't be with somebody for 30 years and then change your mind. But each province or state in the US will have its own rules, so make sure you visit a lawyer for a review. Now, I also had a coworker who said that she had her husband sign an extension every couple of years, but that sounds really questionable, and I would definitely have a lawyer check on that to make sure that that's actually valid. Once you're living together or married, personality types will lead to issues, even though you should have uncovered the incompatibilities prior to moving in or getting married. If one is a saver and the other one a spender, the conflict can either be healthy, where you move each other towards a happy medium from the opposite sides, or if you are stubborn, set in your ways, or have certain expectations, having a saver and a spender could be a disaster. If you are both spenders, you'll have a great time right until the time you go bankrupt. If you're both savers, you'll have less fun now, but more fun later. Communication and trust is paramount. See my previous video on financial infidelity. I would be very unhappy if a lady I just married told me that she had $100,000 in debt, which we now need to pay off together. On the plus side, this would be a real bonding experience. But seriously, I would have asked a long time before about any debts, as I had mentioned. Money relationships, just like personal relationships, require work and tune-ups. Experts suggest a money date once per month, although maybe not over wine. You sit down, you look at your transactions, plans, difficulties, you discuss the investments, you check if the net worth is trending upwards and see anything else that needs to be discussed. It should be something you can do together. For me, it'd be great fun. In my last long-term relationship, I was making all the money and investing decisions by myself. This made me entirely responsible, so if something went wrong, it was entirely my fault. And I felt alone in making these major decisions, which makes the relationship a little redundant. You always want to have a second opinion on these things, especially from somebody who thinks differently than you, yet has your best interest at heart. So, on that sad but hopefully uplifting note, if you have any requests on what you would like me to cover in future videos, please put that into the comment section. Please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and may you have a profitable day.